Hello there. This is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Again, here's our card. By the grace of God, I got the video back I wanted to show with a presentation of Everything is Rosy. So now you're going to see how I make this card and why it screams Christmas to me. I started out making the card on the right first, and I'm really going to speed it up. And it turned into what you kind of saw on the left. Those are our colors. I'll have everything in the YouTube description. Don't worry about a thing. So I'm pulling Poppy Parade, and I'm going to stamp that 3 times. These are distinctive stamps, and they're layering too. And if you look at the top left, you can see where I've die cut the individual layers out and then put them on with glue dots. So I'm putting the layer in the middle, and when you stamp it, you want to go down the same way every time. I'm gonna jump ahead real quick. That new stamp cleaning pad is coming out June 4th. And back there a couple minutes ago, I showed you it's gonna be hard to layer if it's all red. I've never seen anything like this. It picks it right up. I cannot recommend it enough. So I'm pulling in Mango Medley right now, and I'm going to be laying down some of those leaves. And again, I'm seeing holly and just Christmas. And that is, oh my gosh, Granny Apple Green. Okay. And I'm going to do 3 or 4 of those. And I always do a couple more, so because, me messing up is entirely possible. And I don't have to pull everything back out again and, restamp it and die cut it and everything like that. So in the Everything is Rosy, you saw that little detail stamp, and it's awesome. So I'm incorporating 2 different blues on the smaller flowers, and that's the same flower I put inside the Poppy Parade. And that was Pool Party and Balmy Blue. The Balmy Blue is the darker one. And I'm pulling back in Granny Apple Green. There's another center that you can put in, and it's really cool and fun to mix and match those colors up like that. This is Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm putting the, I guess, stamens. Stamens are a little bit longer, but just the dots in the middle of the flower. I am pulling in all the die cuts, and when I put down the images, I like to, again, keep them the same, so that way when I have to keep die cutting the same image out over and over again, I don't have to sit there and mess with it 50 million times and turn it around like you're going to see me do on the blue flower. I only have to do it once. With the ferns up there, that's easy enough to lay down, but when you have an image like that, it's just, yeah. So I'm going to finish die cutting that and everything else out. I am pulling in Merry Christmas to All now, since we are making this a Christmas card. Wax paper. That's a very intricate, thin word, and I flipped it and turned it around. And the wax paper will help it release a lot easier. The die brush, that's a must-have. The new Take Your Pick tool is coming out with like an add-on that you can just pop onto that tool that has a brush. So now I have some, what's the name of this stuff? I should know. Tombow Mono right now. And I'm putting it, just dabbing it on the Mary. And I'm going to stack them, and my glue is gunky, so I struggle. Because it's been through like 3 states and 5 houses with me for years. So now I have them all stacked up and glued together. I'm just taking Wink of Stella real quick and giving that a little glimmer and bling. It is a holiday card after all. And then I'm going to set that aside to let it dry. I'm going to pull in our card base, which is thick Whisper White, and I'm going to lay out everything that I stamped and die cut onto my image panel there. And I did use the rectangle squares, the largest one, to cut that out to get that stitching detail on the side. So I'm going to get the bottom left lined up, the top right lined up. I'm going to pull the Mary back in, take a picture of it, because you're going to get rid of it all anyway when we put down the sentiment. That is Glad Press and Seal to the left. I sometimes use that. I didn't show the process this time because it didn't work so well for me. So the sentiment, as you saw, I measured up 2 inches so I can get rid of everything because I still have to stamp down that sentiment. So I'm lining it up 2 inches from the grid paper on the Stamparatus. So I always pull my door off, especially during a video, because I don't want to get right on top of it, because I never know how I'm going to look when I do this, and I don't want you to see it. So I'm inking that up with Granny Apple Green and ringing that down twice because I like my crisp impressions. Now that that is dry, I pulled back in all my flowers that were on that Glad Press and Seal, and I'm pulling them off. And when I have images like that of 2 different flower sizes and 2 different leaves, I utilize my adhesives. I'm putting down all the leaves with Tombow Mono. The large Poppy Parade flowers, they are going to go on Stampin' Dimensionals, and then the smaller flowers in the Balmy Blue and Pool Party are going to go on glue dots. And glue dots are about a 1/16 of an inch thick, so there's still dimension. I'm getting 3 different levels there, and it does show when you look at the card on the side view. So I'm going to get everything down here, and I'm just finishing up. I'm going to end up flipping that panel over in a minute. Okay, I'm going to pick down some dimensionals all around the back. Now I'm bringing back in the Mary, flip that over, adding some Tombow Mono dots to the back of that. Bring back in the image panel. Grab some tweezers. It was easier for me well, I guess I didn't do it this time. Lay that back on there, put a block on top, let it set up to dry. And now I'm going to put the image panel on. So I do want to thank you for joining me today. I'm having a Christmas card class on this, and I would love it for you to join me. There's going to be links in the YouTube description and over the blog to where you just pick up the kit in a separate video, and you're automatically going to slide into the website to where the class will be held. So I'm going to go through the process of my thinking here when I first saw this. I never saw it as the card on the left to where it would just be a flower set. I thought Christmas, first off, by the shapes of the flowers, of the foliage and everything. So I made the card on the right, and that's where you can see the stacking and layering, and it morphed into the card in the center there. So again, thank you for joining me for this lengthy video. Rebecca, you're the prize winner from last week. Wood Textures, that's my prize for this week. Leave a comment. Have a fantastic weekend, and I am so happy I found this video. God bless. I will see you next week.